Hey friend, it's Colleen here. So it's back to school time. Maybe your kids are already in school or it's coming up on it. So is your child coming home complaining of headaches, or have you noticed a strong smell of cleaners when you walk into their classroom? Our kids are actually more vulnerable to environmental hazards. So maybe you've heard about that, but just haven't had time to look into it. Like, we're busy, right? We're all so busy. Well, let me help explain it. So it's about their developing bodies, right? They're growing. So they're just naturally more susceptible to the effects of things in their surroundings. Their respiratory rate is higher. Their bodies are still growing and changing. And that can make them more at risk from certain hazards, right? Makes sense. So let's talk about the impact of indoor air quality on their health and even their performance in schools. What? Yeah. So there's mounting evidence that indoor air quality, or IAQ, has a direct connection to their well-being and their academic performance. Studies have shown this link consistently. Like, it's a definite. So the air they breathe in school can affect their health and how well they do in school. What? Yeah. Scientific research has long established a connection between poor indoor air quality and respiratory issues like asthma. So it's really troubling to think that things like mold, excessive use of cleaning chemicals, and even sanitizing wipes, yes, those wipes we see on almost every school supply list, can trigger allergies and asthma in kids. That's really concerning. Asthma can also lead to school absenteeism, and if you're not in school, you're not learning and can be falling behind, right? So according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, asthma is actually one of the leading causes of kids missing school. It's alarming to think that something as fundamental as the air quality in our schools can affect their attendance. I didn't realize that. But it's not just about missing school days. So that poor indoor air quality can actually impact their learning too. And I've seen some where it can impact behavior. So imagine struggling to concentrate or learn because the air they're breathing is filled with pollutants. It's been shown that poor indoor air quality can make it difficult for students to focus and learn effectively. So has your child come home complaining of headaches, fatigue, more than just, I'm back in school, I don't want to be there fatigue, or dizziness? Do their allergies or breathing issues seem to get worse at school? These could definitely be signs of an issue with indoor air quality. So the cleaning products being used put chemicals into the air. They also leave behind chemical residues that aren't good for the kids or the teachers to be breathing in or touching. I mean, if you think about it, if I wouldn't use those wipes directly onto my heart if I was having open heart surgery, should I really be comfortable with my kids using them on their hands or on surfaces that they touch? Because our skin is our largest organ, right? It's meant to protect us, but chemicals can soak through, they can go into our bloodstream, and then they go into our other major organs. So it's really about making sure our children are in a safe environment, not just physically, but also when it comes to the air they breathe and the products that they come in contact with. So let's look at the wipes that are on, like I said, probably every school supply list. Have you ever read the directions or warning label? I never did. It is a registered pesticide. It's registered with the EPA. It's on there somewhere. But in order to disinfect Wipe surface. Use enough wipes for treated surface to remain visibly wet for 4 minutes. Let surface dry. Who has time for that? No. We used to use these wipes on the tables at the daycare I worked at in college, and I never knew this part. Where is it? For surfaces that may come in contact with food, a drinking water rinse is required. Why is that? Because of the chemical residue that's left behind. It's not supposed to get on our food, because then it would get into our bodies when we eat the food. But we're using our hands and we're breathing it in. So what do? The option I use in my home is a high quality microfiber cloth. Actually, this is the leader in the industry. This cloth removes 99% of bacteria from a surface when cared for properly. There are travel sized ones that are like actually about this size. They can hang from kids' desks or on the wall for cleaning the desks during the day. The teacher can have one of these full-sized ones for bigger messes. You just get it wet with water and you go to town getting rid of dirt, grime, and that 99% of bacteria. And it's safe. It's just water. It doesn't even need to be laundered after every use. So after you use it, you rinse it under warm water, press it together, and rub it. And what it has in it is silver. It's called backlock. And silver is a natural antibacterial agent, so that cloth self-purifies between uses. So you're like, what? A cloth and water is all we need for everyday classroom cleanup? Yup. It works, and it has third-party testing to prove that it works. Always look for third-party testing on any products that you're going to use. That way you know that they do what they say they're going to do. All right, still don't believe me, do you? I got you. All right, so check it out. This is Glow Germ. It's simulated bacteria. So what we do is we sprinkle it on this cutting board surface, and it glows under an alternative light source, aka black light. So now I'm gonna take one of these. Actually, first, before I take one of these wipes, I'm gonna put gloves on because I don't want these chemicals going onto my skin. No thank you. Or into my bloodstream. And I never used to use gloves. Do you use gloves? That's good. That's at least a start, as if you're using gloves. But the smell. Our kids aren't using gloves when they're using these in the classrooms. And there is no blame here on teachers in any way, or even on parents. Like, we don't know what we don't know, right? We're learning. We just have to be informed consumers. All right, so I have my wipe, and I'm going to go all over my cutting board. Okay. Looks clean, right? Well, let's check it out. You see that? That's what's left on the surface. That stuff is what's getting into our kids' bodies when they're doing their quick desk wipe down. Okay? So now I'm going to take this EnviroCloth. It's wet with just water. I'm going to go across right in the middle. Where's my black light? Check that out. It's physically removing the bacteria from the surface. So let's say we clean up this whole half, right? So you can see that line. All right, well, what if I take this here wipe again and wipe over it? Look, I didn't even try and get it dry. How about that? Now, why does this work? Because there's, you might see the microfiber in the stores. So there's a difference between high quality microfiber and just the big box generic microfiber. In the US, you can't even see, you can't see anything because it's all clean. In the US, in order to be called microfiber, the fibers have to be at least 1/6 the thickness of a human hair. But this Norwex microfiber is 1/200th the thickness of a human hair. Super small, gets in, picks up everything. You can see, look, it picks it all up from the surface, and then we rinse it under warm water, press it together, rub it. Now, are there other high quality microfiber options out there? Yes. This is the one that I'm familiar with, okay? This is also the only one that has that silver in there to self-purify between uses, so you don't get bacteria mold building up in the cloths. So that is a big difference. So really, it's time that we start paying more attention to this issue of what kids are breathing in schools, what they're touching, what's soaking into their skin, and advocating for better indoor air quality in our schools. I know that there's a lot that schools do. I used to be a teacher. I get it. We have to help them. So what can we do? Read the labels on those wipes in your child's classroom, okay? Talk to the teacher about your concerns. Maybe they don't even know. Ask if at the very least your child can bring in and use an EnviroCloth. Even better, try to get the teacher on board to switch out those pesticide wipes in the whole classroom for EnviroCloths. And I bet there's a difference in headaches and complaints. I mean, not all complaints because, school, kids. Our kids deserve to learn and grow in an environment that supports their health and well-being. So let's spread the word, make sure other parents know about this too. It's all about their future after all, right? And we're the ones making the decisions. I'm happy to answer your questions if you have any. I'm here to help you.